Kia ora, and welcome to the CoreLogic Property Market Update for September 2019. Sales activity was relatively muted in August after an unseasonably strong July. On a 12-month rolling basis, sales volumes were down 3.3% year on year. But as the chart shows, activity has effectively plateaued out at the current level. We're reporting just over 85,000 residential sales across the country in the last year, with 22,500 of these in Auckland. This is well down on the recent peak of 113,000 nationwide at the end of June 2016, and almost 40,000 in Auckland in the year to the end of September 2015. Limited listings are playing their part in restricting the number of sales, and this also means we're still seeing property value growth in areas where there's a real dearth of property for sale. While demand may have been reduced over the last few years, so too has supply. And that means some markets still remain relatively competitive, and hence values get pushed up. This is not the case in our two largest cities, with property values in Auckland still tracking down 2.3% over the last year, according to the Kiwi House Price Index, which is the best long-term measure of property value change. And in Christchurch, values continue to effectively track sideways, up only 0.4% over the last year. Dunedin remains the best performing main centre, with almost 12% growth over the last year. And our provincial centres have also retained relatively higher rates of growth. It is worth noting though that these rates have slowed over the last 2 years, and it's certainly not one size fits all. Values in Queenstown, Whangarei, New Plymouth, Nelson and Kapiti Coast have all seen less than 8% growth over the last year, with both Queenstown and Whangarei actually below 3%. Higher average values in some of these areas impact affordability, with incomes previously not able to keep up with property value growth and tighter lending criteria over time restricting the potential buyer pool. This lending criteria includes the well-known deposit requirements, but also stricter expense assessment and serviceability interest rates. Interestingly though, towards the end of August we heard serviceability interest rates had been reduced, and given our belief that it was these rates which were limiting the number of potential buyers, I'd expect this to translate to higher buyer demand throughout this month and into next. Competitiveness among the banks remains high as they continue to scrap for our money. The other big piece of news to come out this month was of course from Minister Megan Woods and the much heralded KiwiBuild reset, or what's now called the Government Build Programme. Unsurprisingly, the build targets were scrapped, although the Minister reaffirmed the government's commitment to working with developers to build more affordable, high-quality starter homes. And also doing this by transforming how we build, especially by embracing and driving the use of modular or prefabricated building options. But the bigger focus was on helping more households become homeowners, through reducing deposit requirements, improving the eligibility criteria for housing grants, and reducing the restrictions on buyers. Ultimately, the policies announced will likely do more for increasing demand than supply, especially in the short term. So if anything, this further underpins the solid outlook for the property market. Hopefully you caught the release of our latest Pain and Gain last month. It didn't paint the rosiest of pictures for some recent sales in Auckland, but it also wasn't all doom and gloom either. Next up is our Mapping the Market tool, which provides the median value of all suburbs in the country as well as change over time. Make sure you keep an eye on corelogic.co.nz so you don't miss it. Mā te wā.